Worldwide Women Speakers. We coach, speak, and train on purpose. Connect with us today at worldwidewomenspeakers.com.
Welcome to the Worldwide Women Speakers online conference. She is and I am she. I'm RJ Jackson, the Courage Giver, your host for today. Really excited to be here and actually a little bit more excited that you're here. So thanks for hanging out with us. We promise to give you information that will cause transformation in your situation. Did you know that last year, 11.6 million U.S. businesses were women-owned? And they employed nearly 9 million people and generated more than $1.7 trillion in revenue. Now, while there's no question that female entrepreneurship has made an impressive gain, make no mistakes about it, we have many miles to go. And why is that? Like all entrepreneurs, women business owners face many challenges. And one, the most common one cited, is a lack of funding. Studies have shown that men are almost twice as likely as women to raise $100,000 more in funding. No wonder women are more likely than men to work a second shift in the evening, take on a part-time or even a full-time job. But have no fear. The outlook is bright. In spite of the challenges, women with established businesses rate their well-being almost 3 times higher than those of women who aren't entrepreneurs, and 1.6 times higher than their male counterparts. Did you know that 78% of female entrepreneurs believe that they've achieved work-life balance? No wonder they feel optimistic about their future as women business owners. Today, we are excited that you have joined us for another Worldwide Women Speakers online conference as we talk about she is an entrepreneur and an employee, and I am she. Our Worldwide Women Speakers Dream Team will share their experience of being an entrepreneur as well as a full-time employee and how they manage a work-life balance. They are also prepared to equip and inspire you to take a risk with confidence as a full-time employee or a part-time employee and an entrepreneur. Our dream team: Angela Denise, Athena Blue, and Tamika Hain. Well, they're amazing. We're confident that you will enjoy their sharing and want to connect with them at the end of this conference. Transformational coach Angela Denise is a woman on a mission. She's called by God to help strengthen your relationship. Through her own trials and tribulations of relationship, she's learned to develop a positive and healthy relationship with others. She is a certified life coach, speaker, and author on a journey to transform lives by teaching the mind, body, and soul to love thyself and avoid the pitfalls of an unhealthy relationship. Mindset maven Athena Blue is a mother of 5, health coach, emotional wellness specialist, and an RN with over 40 years of experience in healthcare. She's an advocate for helping women create healthy food relationships and teaching the importance of maintaining a good work-life balance. She's an author, speaker, and coach, focusing on helping women overcome their fears, move past their negative experiences, and live life on purpose. Tamika Haynes is a certified holistic practitioner and life coach that promotes and teaches others how to achieve optimal health and well-being. Her primary focus and assignment is to help others heal, renew their spirit, establish their faith, and increase their virtue. Tamika is a mother of one and an Air Force veteran. Join me in celebrating Tamika and thanking her for serving our country. Just before we begin, we want to encourage you to invite your sister friend to join us today. So we want to encourage you to take notes and not only write on your paper, but write on your heart those takeaways that will help transform your situation. Don't forget to leave us a comment, subscribe, and stay connected. As a bonus, be sure to listen to the end because we'll be giving away something that you'll want to receive. Now, if you're ready, join me in welcoming to the Worldwide Women Speakers stage Angela Denise, Athena Blue, and Tamika Haynes.
Hello, ladies, and welcome. This is Angela.
And this is Athena Blue, your mindset maven.
And this is Tamika Haynes, your transformation and holistic wellness coach.
Hey, ladies, so I know you have chosen to be an entrepreneur as well as a full-time employee, but when it comes to certain things in our everyday life, I sure like to know, what's your choice? Let's start off with Miss Angela. What do you choose, YouTube or Netflix?
Oh, YouTube, absolutely YouTube.
For me, it would be YouTube. Greater variety of content.
It would be YouTube for me, too.
All right. Miss Angela, going back to you, would you prefer a phone call or a text, girl?
Wow, that's a hard one. Either one. Maybe a phone call.
I prefer phone calls, more personal, in my opinion.
Used to be texting, but I say phone calls. I'm tired of the texting.
Tired of texting, girl?
Yes, I'm tired of the texting.
All right, let's do some traveling. Would you rather go, Miss Angela, to the beach or to the mountains?
To the beach.
To the beach.
Definitely the beach.
Oh, the beach, have it hands up and hands down, baby. Okay. Well, what's going in your mouth, chips or popcorn?
Chips.
I like them both, but first off, chips.
Chips for me, too. That's my guilty pleasure.
Listen, I used to call myself the potato chip queen until I put on about 15 extra pounds. But I'm like you ladies. I love my potato chips. So I had to start making them so I can have them vegan style. But, yes, give me those chips. Okay, what's chips, that? Oh, the kale chips, yes, girl, yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's that palate talking about? Sweet or sour, Miss Angela?
Sweet.
How about you, Miss Athena?
I wish you would have said savory. But between sweet and sour, I have to go lean on the sweet side.
All right, Miss Tamika.
Sweet.
And that's what all three of you ladies are, as sweet as you can be. Now let's talk about some music for a second. Hey, let's dance to the music. Hey, are we listening to jazz or R&B, Miss Angela?
R&B.
R&B it is for me.
R&B for me too.
All right, we all got that music going on, the R&B. I just say the R&J. Hey. But I make my own music. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have to do as women who want to live life on purpose. Ladies, listen, don't forget, take a moment, enjoy life no matter what you're doing, whether you're a full-time employee and an entrepreneur, or you're just an entrepreneur, or you're just a full-time employee. Whatever you do, live life to the fullest. Angela, why don't you get us started? Tell us a little bit about Angela. Just give us a little bit of your story.
Well, a little bit of my story. I'm a life coach and then also an author as well too, and I help business owners to actually, increase their business as well. And the reason why I got started with all of that is because of what I had been through, with my struggle and everything. And I want just to see everybody succeed. It's so hard to really go through, just life and then also being able to work full-time and then trying to run a business and then also to have kids as well. So sometimes you try to balance, but not all the time can you. But the thing is, you just have to keep on moving forward. So whatever, happens, if it's somebody that's sick in your family, if it's, having to take care of your kids, if it's having to work full-time, if it's having to, run your business, just keep on moving forward with all of that. Even if it gets tough, you have to make sure that you keep, every step, in front of you and just stay focused.
Wonderful words of wisdom, girl. And yes, the struggle is real, definitely real. Athena Blue, what about you? Tell us a little bit of your story.
So a little bit of my story, kind of when I became an entrepreneur, stemmed back 9 years ago when my husband was diagnosed with a health crisis. Now, I had been employed in the healthcare industry as a professional for about 40 years. Well, at that time, about 30 years. And when he was diagnosed with a really life-threatening issue, that was kind of like my wake-up call. And then I knew that things had to change, not only with our lives, but, with lives of people around us who are going through the similar struggles that we were, not only physically but emotionally. And that's why I became a coach as well. What happened then, because of the life situation, I had to put that on hold. I became one, but then when he became really ill, I had to put that on hold because when you're a mother, a wife, and life throws you a curveball like that, you have to make some, really hard choices. And the only choice I could make at the time was I had to be present, fully present to take care of my husband. Although I wanted to continue my life coaching or health coaching, it had to wait because he was now the top priority. And so, that was put on hold for a while. And then when he finally succumbed to the illness, and after about a couple of years after, getting over my grief process, I began going back into coaching. So I coach women who not only have, maybe overweight issues, but also people who have emotional issues like depression, anxiety, because all of those things I've gone through, and I had to work through them myself, so I know what happens when you're going through them. And also, we just have to be able to make choices when we're going through things, like when you're managing or trying to run a business and you're working a full-time job. That is a very, very tough thing. It's not exactly the ideal way to go, but that's the way a lot of us have to go. And so I'm here to help women and let them know that you're not alone. I know exactly what it is to go through that, and that not only I, but the other two ladies that are here with me, we all know what it's like to go through that.
And as women, sometimes we totally think it's just us, and no one understands, and no one knows my journey. But we're here to tell you today, you're not alone. And yes, the struggle is real. But there are women, sisters, who want to walk with you, who are qualified, not just because of the information that they've read in the book, but their life story that has caused transformation. And they're here today to share with you. Isn't that true, Miss Tamika?
Yes, it is.
What's your story, beautiful?
So, a holistic wellness and transformation coach. And that all started with a journey in healing for myself. I was at a point in my life where I was unhappy in every area and unhealthy in every area, of my life, not just physically, being overweight, not just having high blood pressure, but also the depression, also just unhappy with every area in my life, relationship-wise, even the way I was performing as a mother. So I went on a journey to heal myself totally, and that was on every level, spiritually, mentally, on a soul level. So in doing that, that manifested into me helping other people. I started getting questions, from family members and friends on, different things, whether it be something physical, like high blood pressure, or whether it be how do I deal with what I'm going through now with this tough breakup. How do I transform my life and get from the place I am now to where I want to be? And that's how my journey started, and that's how I help other women.
It's so important to tell our story. Sometimes our story is a story of a mountain that we've climbed. But the truth is, when we tell our story, our words could be the page on someone else's survival guide. And today we want to tell you our story as an entrepreneur and being employed. When we say she is an entrepreneur and she is employed, girl, we're talking about you. And we understand your struggle. It's real. It's something that you feel. So as the ladies share with us today, we want you to be encouraged in every way to know you're on the right path. Yes, it's difficult, but stay there, stay in, because in the end, you win. Who is your ideal client in terms of coaching?
My ideal client would be mother women between the ages of 30 into 40. Women who are dealing with some of the things that I mentioned I went through earlier, where they want to address every part of their life, where they want to, improve themselves spiritually, where they want to improve themselves on a physical level. They've been dealing with chronic health issues, anything serious, all the way high blood pressure, thyroid issues, all the way down to stuff like chronic acne. Small physical ailments like that. Also the emotional issues, because what I came to discover during my healing journey and during my studying and when I went to school is that a lot of our emotional issues are what's causing the physical issues, and that also causes us to not take care of ourselves. So my ideal client would be the woman who wants to transform her life in all areas.
And what woman doesn't want transformation to take place? Sometimes that could be a scary thing, and we feel like, I can't do this. But it's so rewarding to know that we don't have to do it alone. And so thank you for the service that you provide to remind women that they don't have to live where they're dying, and they certainly don't have to die where they're living. Mindset Maven Athena Blue, how about you? Tell us about your business, who your ideal client is, and how you serve them.
Okay. Well, my business, it has to do with health coaching and life coaching as well. My ideal client would be, of course, women who are probably between the ages of 30 again and 50, just like what Tamika was saying. mother or single, professional or not, who is going through, some times in their, some struggles in her life, not quite sure who she is or what she wants to do, probably having some health issues, stressed out, overweight, not knowing how to eat well, and not being able to connect the dot between her stress level and her physical ailments that's probably going on, because so many people don't make that connection, as Tamika was saying, and that is the truth. So what I do is work with them one-on-one to help create a plan for them to transform their lives, one step at a time, holding their hand and guiding them through the process of how to eat, what to eat. Also in becoming aware of what's going on inside of them, because so many of us don't become aware of what's going on inside of us. We just look outside of us for answers, when in actuality all of the answers lie within each and every one of us. But some of us are so afraid to look inside because we're afraid of what we might see. But looking inside of you is like turning on the light, in a dark room. And what's in there is you. And you should not be afraid of it, because it's all you. And so I help women learn to become aware of who they are, not only their surroundings, but their inner self, their inner being, and learn to get in touch with them and learn to get in touch with their feelings and emotions, and to be able to release the pain of past incidences that have just held them down, negative self-talk that might have originated from childhood. All of these issues, if we can just release all the pain and the trauma from our past, we'll find that a lot of stuff that's happening now just seems to clear up, including our physicality. We may be someone who may not be able to release weight, but if they can go and release all that negative self-talk that might have originated when they were little, then they may see that, hey, I can release this weight. It just starts pouring off the body. So that's what I help women do, not only with physical stuff, but also emotional, to connect with their inner self, to learn to release their traumas and their fears and their pain, so that they can take a step forward into their new future.
Connect the dots. Steve Jobs says, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. So we have to trust that the dots will somehow connect to our future. We have to trust in something, our gut, destiny, life, whatever. But as you said, Athena, that requires that we look inside. We look where we've come from and the experiences that we've had, and connect those dots to where we're going. So many of us as women look at the dots and see them as problems, when really they are connectors. So thank you for connecting women to their purpose and their destiny. Angela, Denise, transformational coach, tell us more of your business, who your client is, and how you help them move from where they are to where they're supposed to be in life.
Oh, absolutely. My ideal client is the ages from 35 to 60, on average, women that are, working, and then also entrepreneurs as well too. Within that, me being a life coach, not only a life coach, I'm also a business consultant as well. But what I do first is build your strength within yourself, because a lot of times when we're weak, as women, or we think that we are, and we haven't tapped into our strength as of yet, or we think that we can't do something. Sometimes it just takes someone to really talk to really find that strength within yourself, and really, stand strong and then move forward in whatever goals and whatever dreams that you may have. So once we can really build that strength and build that mindset within, if it's something like that you want to go back to school and you want to finish your education, if you have a business that you are working on but it's just not taking off the way you really want it to take off, you're really not really putting your presence out there, then that's when I step in and help and give you a strategy. Sometimes we feel that we have goals, but we feel that we don't have the strength to make things happen, or sometimes we have so much going on in our lives that what I call as distractions, they're really holding you back to really be the best person that you can be within your life and then within your business as well too. So just really stepping in to really find your strength within yourself, to really capturing what your goals are, and then also executing on those goals and just moving forward so that you can be successful, that you can make the achievements in your life, and that you can stand strong and keep on moving forward.
And if you aren't moving forward, you certainly aren't growing. Because a successful person, well, they never lose. They either win or they learn. And it sounds like, ladies, that you help people unlock their potential to maximize their growth. It sounds like you're a great coach. You see, a good coach can change the game, but a great coach can change the life. Now, I know you all are not only entrepreneurs, not only do you work for yourself, you're building your own business, you're leaving legacy for your family, but you're also living life right now as an employee as well. So many women want to start a business, but they don't want to leave their job or they're afraid to. Let's talk about being an entrepreneur and an employee. Like, what does that look like for you? How do you actually manage through the day in doing that? Are there times and moments you don't manage where perhaps, I don't know, maybe your day manages you because you're overwhelmed and you got so much going on and the responsibility is so great? Some people say you should be an entrepreneur, 100, as they say. Some people say, no, hey, find something you can do to support being an entrepreneur. Ladies, let's talk about it. What's your take? What's your thought? Athena, Miss Entrepreneur as well as employee. When I say she is an entrepreneur and an employee girl, I'm talking about you. So how do you handle that, girl?
One day at a time. That's the best I can say right now. Yes, it is a little difficult trying to be a full-time employee and a full-time entrepreneur. So I just have to take it into perspective. I can't do both and give both 100. I just can't. Right now, what I'm doing, I am working at my day job to help me to save money. I have a goal in mind of what I want to have saved up and try to pay off some bills and get some of my debts paid off. And I'm working the other job kind of part-time. So it's going a little slowly, but I'm learning the process more and more so that I can, when I reach that goal that I want, then I can fully step into it. Because running a business is going to take some funds. So working full-time can help me fund the things I need to do with my part-time business. So it serves two purposes, financial security right now. I'm getting a paycheck in, every 2 weeks or so, and also I can pay off my bills, and also I can help fund my my part-time business. So it is a challenge, and you have to be able to decide what it is you want to do when you want to do. I have to just make time and decide this day I'm going to do this, and I have to really work with myself to work to time and not to task, because sometimes I can get out of whack with spending too much time in one area and not the other. So one thing I'm learning, I haven't mastered yet, is working to time and not to task. So if I spend, say, an hour doing something as a part of my business, then I can stop, rest a little bit, then spend maybe another 30 minutes on something else, because by the time I get home from my day job, I have exactly like 4 hours left to eat, get the kitchen cleaned up, get ready for the next day, take my shower, and then do a little work on my business. So I don't have much time in the evening. So I don't put a lot of pressure on myself like I used to. I used to compare myself to other people, and that just made me frustrated and anxious with myself. And so now I just do what I can do. But I know that I have my goal in mind, and as long as I have my goal in mind, I'm going to reach it. It may not be as soon as I'd like to, but I'm going to reach it. So you have to pace yourself. You have to manage or prioritize your time, and it's all a choice of what it is you want right now in this present time of your life. So just take it. Just look at what it is you want to do and prioritize your time, your task, and just work your program. As long as you're making forward progress, you're moving in the right direction.
Okay, so I just have to ask you, especially since eating healthy is one of those things that you help promote and help women to see how important it is. As an entrepreneur and a full-time employee, do you ever find that you don't have time to eat, or do you make time to eat? Because I know as women sometimes we're like, oh, I didn't even eat nothing, and it's 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Like, I know that's not good. So does that ever happen to you, and what do you do about that?
Well, for me, I always make time to eat. What I do in the morning, especially on Sunday morning, I will fix something for breakfast. Say, for me, like I'll have either two things. I'll fix me oatmeal that'll last all week, or some grits or some Southern style stuff that will last me all week. So I just portion it out into cups. And so every morning I just take a cup out, heat it up, and that's my breakfast. So for lunch, it's usually leftover dinner. Dinner is usually something that's healthy but doesn't take a long time. Sometimes I'll make a pot of soup that'll last all week, or sometimes I'll get a bag of salad and say maybe a piece of fish or whatever, and I'll portion that out, and that'll last all week. So I try to cook quick, simple meals that I can, use more than once, because I know my time is tight, but I know I still need to eat a healthy meal, and that's how I work it. I plan out what I want to eat, at least mentally, and then I prepare ahead, especially my breakfast. My dinner is something that I try to, have for the whole week, or at least 3 days out of 5, and I just try to cook something that's simple and quick but healthy and nutritious.
So, in other words, you got to work your plan and plan your work. It's not about necessarily having time. It's about making time.
Yes, you got to keep your health up.
Yes, it's so important, because if we don't take care of ourselves, who will? And everything we're doing has purpose, but the first purpose is to take care of you. So, Ms. Tamika, how do you manage being a full-time employee as well as an entrepreneur? And what's your thought on what people say about you should only do one, or no, you should do both because you need to make money? How are you working that plan and planning your work when it comes to being an entrepreneur as well as an employee?
Well, first of all, I don't really prescribe to other people telling me how to, you should be 100%, entrepreneur, even though that is my end goal. But everyone has their own situation. Everyone has their own circumstances. Everyone has a different family dynamic. So just jumping out the boat is not, feasible for some people to do at the same time as others. So for me, I definitely still work full time, because just like Athena, I want to, be at a certain place, being that I'm also a single mother, before I fully step out, and just drop everything. And as far as being a entrepreneur and a full-time worker, it's just about balancing the balance. I call it balancing the balance, because you can't really balance everything because things happen, especially as a mother or a wife, or, if you're a caretaker, or, even for your job, unexpected things happen at work. You may have to work late. You may have to take on an extra shift. Something may happen with your car and you need to work overtime, so you might not have a lot of time for your business that week or that pay period. So you just balance things as they happen. Some weeks you're going to have a regular schedule, that schedule that you set for yourself, where you get off work at 5 o'clock and, you take care of what you need to take care of. For me, I'm a night owl, as they call it, so most of my entrepreneurial duties get done in the middle of the night. I start working most times at 10 p.m. and I work until I either can't anymore, I'm tired and need to get some rest, or I just block off at least a couple of hours, a few hours to midnight, and I work. But you have to be prepared for those unexpected things that happen, because being an entrepreneur and an employee and a mother and, for some, a wife, and you have to plan for other things. That's why I say you have to balance the balance.
Balance the balance. And don't be jumping out the boat, especially, girl, if you can't swim. Listen, you got to do what works for you, not what works for other people. So you mentioned, Tamika, you are a night owl. So it means you know your body. You know when you can produce the most and what time that looks like. And you know when you got to shut it down because it's just not working. What is your recommendation for how to balance that balance? Like, how do we know?
You definitely have to be in tune with your body. You have to know what your tired is. Some people can thrive on 5 hours of sleep. Some people can thrive on 3, honestly, but some people need 7 hours. Some people need 8 hours. So you definitely have to be in tune with what your body needs and then, adjust accordingly. You might have to, if you don't have a lot of time, just schedule out that 1 hour. If you need a full night of sleep, then you need to give yourself that. But plan some time on the weekend, plan some time with your family to let them know, like, these are going to be my working hours, because I have to get my sleep in. So just pay attention to your body, pay attention to what it needs, pay attention to how it's reacting to the things that you're putting it through, because if you stayed up till 2 o'clock last night and you notice the next day you're just foggy and can't function, then you might want to adjust how long you stay up.
Pay attention, ladies. And I hope you're paying attention right now and taking some good notes. I know I am. And at the end, I'm going to review some of the things that we want to encourage you to do as an entrepreneur as well as being an employee. Miss Angela Denise, we want to pay attention. Tell us, girl, about your entrepreneur and employee world. What's going on?
Yes, so sometimes I want to be honest, it's totally crazy, trying to balance everything, and sometimes you feel like you can't balance everything, but I can definitely say this is scheduling. Scheduling is huge. To make sure that you have a calendar that you're able to, maintain, from your full-time job to your business, making sure that everything is scheduled out so that you're not forgetting anything, any client calls that you have, making sure that everything is scheduled out. Sometimes it can be tight from going from your, 40-hour-a-week job to going right into business. Sometimes right after I get off, I may have a call that's scheduled, and then I'm on that call. If that's the only time that the client can, speak or we can have a meeting, then I'm on that call like right after. So it's just depending, as things come, then I align them. So that's how my mind operates a lot of times. As things are thrown at me, then I visually align them in order, basically by priority and, what needs to come first and then what I can, take last or whichever. So that's how really I balance, my business and then my full-time job. So it could be after I get off from work, it could be 2 hours, on, calls with clients and then going to, maybe cooking dinner. And then right after that, I'm going into, maybe working from like 8 to 11 or 8 to 12. Sometimes sleep can be anywhere from 2 hours to 7 hours. Usually is anywhere from 2 to 5 hours that I'll get per night at least. And then I'll get up early in the morning. I may work on a little bit before I go into work, and then I go into work after that. It's really good that my kids are very supportive of my business because sometimes I don't have to cook and they will cook. So that's another thing too, just letting your family know exactly, what the goal is, what the vision is, what the family vision is, and what you're trying to accomplish and do because, ultimately you're trying to leave a legacy for your kids. So if they're understanding, your family is understanding, and a lot of times they'll pitch in and help, and that'll alleviate some time for you to either, jump on a call or, you may have to work on a client's business strategy as I do, and just different things. So sometimes it's a little crazy. I do eliminate TV. I very rarely watch TV because I do feel a lot of times it is a time waster, especially if you have a business and then plus you're working full time, plus you have a family. A lot of times, the TV is like the last thing that I turn on because I need to make sure that everything, gets accomplished. I know sometimes it gets tough when you're going from one thing after another, but once you finish and accomplish all those things, then, the reward that you feel is great. And, you're looking for, this race that you're running to really to meet the goal, to meet the vision, to know what the ultimate reason is, to know what your why is, every day that you push hard and every day that you, make that sacrifice and every day that you struggle to make it happen.
Well, you said something that I just know for a fact that women are probably thinking, yeah, that's key, getting your family to understand, Not only do they not understand, but they don't even support me. How do you deal with that type of situation where your kids don't support it? They're always complaining that you don't spend enough time with them, and your family are just saying, you are crazy. Girl, you cray. Look, no, don't do that. But you really feel in your heart this is what you've been called to do. How does one deal with that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely about educating your family to help them to understand. I know with, I have 2 teenage boys, so I talk to them about not just going out and working, but, also building a business for themselves as well, and not, always working for somebody else to make them millions, but to make yourself millions. So I think about, educating them so they can understand, and then also getting them involved as well, too. If they can go with me to an event or they can help me, with a project that I'm working on, then I also get them involved. Now, as far as, like, spending time together, you always allot time, within, the days or even on Saturdays. Saturdays I don't do a lot of business at all. If I do, it's early morning and that's it. And then unless I'm traveling or something like that, but I definitely make sure that I, spend that time with them, even if it's for a moment, during the week where we're sitting and we're, talking or, discussing things that's going on, with them. So you always make that time, but you also make sure that you educate them and so they can understand, what you're doing as well.
And what do we do as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as employees, as mothers, as wives, as friends? What do we do when it gets tough and we get depressed or we get sad or we get lonely? What's one thing you suggest we do?
Yeah. And I mean, and that happens, don't get me wrong and think that, I don't, get down or something is not going right or whichever. But that's when you have to be your own biggest cheerleader. And I've said that so many times, is that you have to literally be able to motivate yourself to keep on standing, to keep on walking, to keep on moving. I mean, I literally have to talk to myself, okay, you can get this done. Okay, we need to, get this done. We need to push forward. This project is due. You need to write that last email because you told the client that you were going to get it out that evening, so it has to be done. So you have to continue to push yourself as well, too, and be your own biggest cheerleader, because it's going to happen. You're going to get down. A million things are going to be thrown at you, but if you align and take one thing at a time, and that you stay focused, and that you really motivate yourself, that you really be your own biggest cheerleader, and that you keep on moving forward no matter what. Don't quit. You have to keep on moving forward no matter what you're doing.
So, Athena, what do you do when it gets tough for you to encourage yourself?
That's a good question. Like Angela was saying, you have to encourage yourself. There are times when I do get discouraged, times when I do get frustrated. I'm going through a course now where I'm learning how to create my own online starter course. And I am not the best when it comes to being computer savvy. And I quickly found out that I was just about the oldest one in this course group. All of them were young ladies who can speak in all this lingo. And I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. And I felt, almost immediately that I shouldn't be a part of this group because I don't know what they're talking about. And I'm going to seem like I'm dumb. And after it was over, I felt kind of bad for about an hour or so. And then I said, okay, all right, we're looking at it the wrong way here. This is just a challenge. Yes, I have to come up on a learning curve here, but it's something that I need to do to improve or to elevate or to catapult my business forward, which is one of the things I want to do. I want to create online courses that I can put out there that will be a source of passive income for me. And so now I have to learn this material. So it's just like me going back to school and taking a course that, I've never taken before, and it all seems like a foreign language to me. So I have to get myself in the right mindset, the right perspective. Yes, I can do this. Yes, it may take me a little longer than the rest of the group, but I can do this. I will do this. And so I'm just taking it step by step by step, fully understanding and immersing myself in it until I fully understand each and every step of the process. And once I have the first one done, guess what? The next one will be easier, and the next one will be even more easier, and the following until I can do this maybe within the weekend. And it won't take 3-4 weeks. It'll probably take a weekend. But, yes, you got to get yourself in the right mindset when you come up against frustrations and disappointments. And another thing that helps me is, as Tamika has her teenage sons, I have my grown children who are my biggest cheerleaders. Now, since my husband died, we've all banded together, and we uplift and encourage one another. And whenever I feel down, I can call any one of them, except my young son right now. He's still finding his way. Any of the other 4, and they will listen, and they will encourage me, and they will inspire me. Okay, so one of the things I'm about to do after I finish this assignment here is go on a vacation. I'm like, darn, I've never gone on a vacation by myself before. And I called my son. I was about to back out. I said, no, don't back out. You can do this, Mom. You need to go and enjoy yourself. Go to some place and spend a week there and just relax and enjoy yourself. Do yoga, meditate, or whatever you want to do. Just enjoy yourself. And so my kids, I'm so blessed that they are like my biggest cheerleaders. And so when I do need encouragement, I can call them. But then again, as Angela said, you have to learn to be your biggest cheerleader as well. You have to develop that positive mindset of self-talk for yourself.
And Tamika, what steps do you take, and what encourages you on those days as an entrepreneur and an employee that you feel, I can't take it anymore?
For me, it's always, always important that I give myself some grace. And I feel that's so important for everyone to do. I mean, if God gives us grace, then I think we should also give it to ourselves. We shouldn't hold ourselves in contempt and convict ourselves and hold ourselves hostage to, what we feel we're failing at or what we feel we're not measuring up to. And just, remember that this is a journey that we're on. It doesn't matter whether you're healing, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're working a job, whether you're a mother, we all going to have our down days. We're all going to have days where we're off. And you just have to give yourself some grace, give yourself a minute to, be upset about it, of course, because you can't, hold those emotions in, realize what it is that you're feeling, and then say, hey, this is just temporary. Most things are temporary. We have to have the faith to know that they're temporary and just keep moving forward from there. Keep it into perspective that you can have those things that you desire and you are going to get there, but don't be so hard on yourself. And, and that's what I try to do, for me. Don't spend the whole day beating yourself up about what you didn't accomplish, what you made a mistake in, or what you messed up. Because, you are also a business. So you have to take care of yourself as well.
Because, again, if you don't take care of you, how can you take care of other people? Tamika, what words of encouragement would you like to share with us?
I would say that just to remember that a setback is just a setup for a comeback. The comeback is always stronger than the setback. We, don't realize that sometimes when we're down. And, our strength is built in the moments when we think we can't go on. It's just like working out. You do that one more push-up, you're going to be even stronger. You did 12 yesterday. You think you can only do 12, but the next day, try 13, try 14. So when you think you can't go on, just go a little further. That's where your strength is built. Just keep going because, falling down happens. But getting up is always a choice. I would also say that to remember that difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. That's, one of my favorite quotes. Sometimes the road is rocky. Sometimes you don't know what's over the next hill or around the next turn, but you get there and, you see this beautiful view ahead of you. So just keep going and see, what God has in store for you.
Just keep going. How about you, Miss Angela? Words of encouragement.
I just want to say, some of the same things that Tamika said. It's like, really, you keep on going no matter what. I mean, even if, you're starting your business or you're in your business and you don't see any sales or you see minimal sales or, minimal likes or whichever, just keep on moving. Just keep on going. Keep on showing up, every single day, apply new strategies and just stay focused. Make sure that you continue just to, to schedule yourself and then just pace yourself and keep on walking forward. The thing is just not giving up no matter what comes in your way, no matter what comes in your direction, no matter what, just keep on going forward, and just not stopping, because a lot of times when we stop and then we want to start over again. So we have to stop stopping and then trying to restart it and restart it and restart it. Just imagine where you could be if you hadn't stopped, 10 years ago. Imagine where you could be if you hadn't stopped 5 years ago. So just continue with the plan that you have. Continue to move forward. Don't quit no matter what comes your way. Keep on moving forward. And another thing, get help. You cannot do it all alone. When the business starts kicking off, even before, it starts, get you a coach. Get you a mentor. Get somebody that can help you with the different strategies that you have, even in your household as well too. Get someone to help you clean, someone to help you cook, someone that can help you every step of the way, because if we try to do it all, then that's when we become frustrated. That's when we become angry. That's when we become depressed. So we have to make sure that we get help, because we can't do it all alone, that we stay focused, that we continue to be our biggest cheerleader, and that we continue to move forward no matter what comes in our way.
And if you're tired of starting over, then it's time to stop giving up. Athena, words of encouragement.
I want to close out with a quote and then give you my take on it. This quote is by Betsy Jacobson, and it goes like this: balance is not better time management, but better boundary management. Balance means making choices and enjoying those choices. Now, to me, the words that stand out the most is choices. I remember taking a course several years ago, and one of the things it taught us was the difference between a choice and a decision. So if you look at the word decide, the D-E-C-I-D-E, notice that at C-I-D-E, that means to kill off, as an herbicide, as an insecticide. You're killing off insects. You're killing off grass. So when we decide something, we are killing off choices. So instead of killing off choices, just make a choice and stand firm with it. So I'm more inclined to want to use the word choices. And I like when it says balance means making choices and enjoying those choices. So everything that we do in life is a choice. And once we choose and learn how to prioritize, we learn to choose wisely. So that's what I want to leave you with. Learn to prioritize and choose wisely. Make your choice, be happy with your choice, and stand firm in it. Stand firm in it. Sometimes it may not be the right one, but when you don't make a right choice, it is a life lesson, and you still learn something from it, and you can still propel yourself forward.
And may your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears. Thanks for choosing to be with us as we talk about being entrepreneurs as well as full-time employees. She is an entrepreneur, and she is you. So, girl, go ahead and work your plan and plan your work, because the world awaits your greatness.
We have not only enjoyed talking about you, we've enjoyed talking to you as well. Sharing with you success strategies, information that causes transformation, the importance of work-life balance. Connect with us today here at Worldwide Women Speakers. We want to journey with you. We look forward to connecting with you again on next month, so we want to make sure that you stay connected. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you're not on our mailing list, well, girl, it's time to do that now. Go ahead and write us, worldwidewomenspeakers.com, and stay connected.
Whether you are looking to encourage, educate, inspire, or motivate, hiring a worldwide women speaker is the perfect way to wow your audience. With such a wide range of talented speakers to choose from, finding the right person can be a bit challenging. That's why we are here to help you. We have the right speaker for your conference, training, and women's event. Contact us today at worldwidewomenspeakers.com. That's www.worldwidewomenspeakers.com. Do you have a strategy plan for your life? Is your plan outdated or collecting dust as life passes you by? It's time to stop winging it and contact Denise, your certified life coach. Angela is waiting to help you develop a strategic life plan to get your life back on track. Be the best you can be with strategies. Contact Angela today at www.askangeladenise.com. Ladies, do you feel stuck, stressed, unhappy with your body, and feel like no one really hears you? For years, Athena Blue struggled with these very same issues. Through her own healing journey, she discovered healthy ways to not only look and feel younger, but regain her confidence, power, and zest for life. Schedule your free emotional detox session with Athena now and learn the #1 thing you can do now to turn your life around. Call Athena today at 877-235-0373, extension 907. When it comes to your health and well-being, you should never take a one-size-fits-all approach, because life affects your health, and your health affects your life. The snowball effect of unresolved inner trauma or physical health concerns can be stopped, and the root of the problem can be found and healed. If you've been dealing with unresolved chronic health conditions or unhealed inner wounds, it's time to take a holistic approach to healing. As a trained holistic practitioner who has personally overcome multiple health concerns and inner wounds, Tamika Haynes is committed to helping and leading others to restoring their health, achieving optimal wellness, and putting the pieces back together to wholeness. Contact Tamika to schedule a free 25-minute consultation by calling 1-877-235-0373, extension 910. Worldwide Women Speakers. We coach, speak, and train on purpose. Connect with us today at worldwidewomenspeakers.com.